The question we are all asking, which of the weekly dividend ETFs is the best? Which ones are making the most money? Which ones are paying the most dividends? And which ones are suffering the worst from NAV erosion? And today we're starting the first video in my new series on all of the weekly dividend ETFs split up by their providers. This YieldMax account is solely the YieldMax ETFs, and I am going to be showcasing exactly the amount of money they have all made. I pulled all the data from the experiments I've been doing so far this year, and I'm really interested in showing you guys and seeing what you think. There will be more videos coming out this week about the Roundhill weekly payers because there's a lot of those as well. And I have some really exciting news about a weekly pay cheat sheet that I have been making for you guys that you will see a sneak peek of in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you find this content informational or educational, or you just enjoy making money in the stock market, don't forget to like the video and to subscribe. That way you never miss the free updated content on all of these weekly paying dividend ETFs, because I'm sure there are more to come. Let's roll that intro. So excited about this new way of doing things. It's going to be very streamlined, but I want some feedback from you guys. The way that I would do it in the past was I would still check out every individual chart and showcase what moves they've been making. I like doing this because I like seeing what the performance is on top of how the chart is actually moving. And when the distributions are paid, how does the chart react? So if you guys don't want me to do that, let me know in the comments. It does take a little more time, but I think if I move through it quickly, that it's a very fun way of looking at each of these, fast-paced and still seeing what they're paying out. Now, you guys can see we still have quite a bit of money in this account, $3,600, which I did send another $1,000 into this account so we can buy the new weekly payers once everything settles down. I'm going to have it jumbled into a third playlist of all the extra ones, you know, the Defiance ones, MST will be in there. I'll probably throw the Granite Shares ones in there and maybe a few others. Let me know what you guys think about that if you want a full separate account for each of those. That way, at the end of every month, I can do a full longer video breakdown showcasing which one rose and fell the most, which one had the best price return, which one paid the most in dividends. And that is something that I'm really, really excited for. So I need your feedback in the comments. Let me know, and let's jump into this data. Ticker CHPY. It's actually positive by 1.2%, which really surprised me. Now, this is why I like looking at the chart. We can see since inception, it fell and then rose slightly, and it's been trading really nicely. The AUM is 14.4 million, so 14.42 million. So it is a little bit on the riskier side, just not as much money in this ETF. The dividend yield is the trailing 12 months, which is 6.14%, but it's only paid out, what? 10, 12 dividends. So we can't really factor in the dividend yield yet. If it's anything like the other YieldMax ETFs, it'll be somewhere in like the 30 to 40 range, probably in the 40s, because this one does yield pretty well. And we can see that with the distributions. Now remember, I invested $100 into each of these. These distributions are based on per share. When I pull it up on the dividend tracking spreadsheet for the YieldMax funds, it's going to showcase it with all the money I've invested, which is 100 per share. So we had just under 40 cents. Then we had 39 cents. Then we had 34.5 cents, a little bit lower. And then we had a monster 40-cent dividend. So not only is CHPY positive overall, but it is paying out really nicely. This is the semiconductor portfolio, which I'm excited about. Long term, I think semiconductors are going to do really well. AI is continuing to revolutionize things, and I don't think it's going anywhere. I think the demand for semiconductors, for all in all tech, is going to just continue to increase, fueled by the AI revolution. Whether you think it's good or bad, I don't know. I have strong opinions on it, but I don't know yet. It's in the infancy phases right now. So I'm curious exactly how it does all turn out. And maybe in the future, you'll be watching complete AI generated content and I won't even be here. That would be weird. I hope not. But I think that we are pushing towards a really, really solid AI fueled world. Ticker GPTY is down 9%, but it has made a crazy comeback. It started out at 50. It dropped substantially. I bought it in the 50s, I think, which is crazy. Dropped all the way down to the 33 and now has run all the way back up. And this is absolutely phenomenal. This is the YieldMax AI and tech portfolio. Although it has run up really nicely from these lower levels, the dividends aren't quite as solid as what we've seen from CHPY. Yes, I always forget the tickers. There's so many of them now. But AUM, 27 million, a bit bigger, and the dividend yield trailing 12 months is 12%. So we can see 29 cents, 29 cents, almost 30 cents, and 31 cents. So again, about 25% less than what we've seen from CHPY, but still very solid. And if it can continue on this trend and make some money in the price return section, that would be amazing. LFGY is an interesting one. It's down 27.2%. and the chart is ugly. Now, it did launch high and fell all the way down to $30 from $55, but the dividends are massive. The AUM is as well, 130.5 million, and the dividend yield is 28%, even though it's only been trading for a couple of months. So this one must have a yield somewhere in like the 60% range, which is why I think it is growing in popularity. Last couple distributions, this one had, 49 cents, 46.5 cents, and 47 cents. So it's just higher than all the others so far. I do think CHPY has been better because it has higher yield, but also more stability so far, but only time will tell. This is the crypto industry and tech portfolio. So there's a lot of volatility, and the implied volatility is what you want to be high on these because those premiums are juicy. And as long as YieldMax can keep these funds going and growing in AUM, I think there's a good chance these can really power a solid weekly paying dividend portfolio. For whatever reason, QDTY has been on a tear. It is up 7.5% since I bought. And although it did look similar to SDTY and RDTY in trading, I did buy this one at a cheaper cost because I just was delayed on it. I waited a little bit longer and it definitely worked out in the end for me. The AUM is still small, 8.5 million, dividend yield 10.5%. And of course, again, that yield is just based off how much it's paid out so far in the last 12 months. So it's kind of an annoying way of looking at it because the yield is definitely in like the 50% range. But all in all, we'll see once we get to a full year of trading. We can also see the last couple of distributions, 32.5 cents, 31 cents, 23 cents, very low, and 25 cents, almost 26. So lower dividends, lower distributions that we've seen, but all in all, the price has been growing, and I'm really impressed by that. I am curious how QDTY compares to QDTE from Roundhill, but we'll have to wait for our end of the month wrap-up video to figure that out. RDTY down 0.4%, and I do want to mention that what we're seeing on here, the unrealized profit and loss, is not factoring in distributions. So these ones that are down 30% are not actually down 30%. They have paid out a lot in distributions most of the time, and that factors in on our spreadsheet. So we can see the AUM 4.5 million. This one is small. Dividend yield 10%. Had some good buying days, has bounced back nicely, but this one was bought, I don't even remember when I did buy this, but it hasn't really done much. It's down ever so slightly. Now, last couple distributions, let's see if it does better than QDTY. 35 cents, 35, almost 35.5 cents, 21 cents, a crazy drop. And the last one was 30 cents. So I don't know why there was a crazy substantial drop here. That's not great, but we have to give these more time to really grow and showcase what they're able to do. The market has been solid these last couple of months. At the beginning of 2025, it was rough with all of the tariff news. So I do think we need to give these a fair chance, give them 6 months trading before we really start to, dive into them and see if they're even worth holding. Now, SDTY, I bought early and it dropped. It's down 13.3%, but a very similar chart to the last two that we discussed. We can see the AUM 14 million and the dividend yield just under 10%. Last couple distributions, we had 27 cents, 26 cents, 21 cents, almost 22 cents, and 22 cents. So this one's paying less. The returns have been worse, but I did buy it at a really bad time. I bought it near the high. So we have to give it more time, but so far SDTY has been very underwhelming for me. ULTY is one of the most popular because its performance has just been phenomenal. And I've been talking about this with a lot of investors, and it's just crazy how well it's been doing. It is down 3% in the account, but with the distributions, it makes a massive difference. Now, check this out. I used to have drip on for this. I've turned drip off because I'm manually dripping now, and I want to know what you guys think. Should I drip on all of my accounts? How should I make it work? Because you can't auto drip with a lot of these because they are so new, but I'm curious. Now, what I do want to note is year to date, this thing started trading weekly around here, March 10, when I purchased it. It did fall from $6.34 down into the fives even, but since then has risen back up. Look at this bouncing back and forth and back and forth. And if it continues that trend, I'm happy with it because the yield has been phenomenal. This one is so cheap. And then you guys are going to look at me and think I'm crazy. The AUM is massive and growing every single day, 456 million. The dividend yield was about 90% last time I checked. But look at these. We had almost 10 cents, 9.8 cents, 9.5 cents, 9.5 cents, and 0.95 cents. So yeah, 9.5 cents again. So, and I know what you're thinking, wow, 9 cents, that's not crazy. All these other ones are paying 20 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents. Well, this only costs you $6. Compared to the others that are going to cost you $20 to $40. So the ability to get an insane amount of dividend income from this one is unmatched. It really is. We have seen some of the largest dividends from this account and from this specific ETF. I will say it's not the largest. We did have a phenomenal, massive dividend that I'll link at the end of this video for those that are interested in the leverage account. So if you're not considering the leverage plays, you know, it's everyone, not financial advice, do what you want to do, but we had a crazy dividend, and I think you're going to want to check it out. So I am impressed by ULTY. I do want to see some more trading. I want to see it continue for a bit longer because when it was monthly, it was really, really bad. And I don't want to see anything like that again. We don't want reverse splits. We just want that nice dividend income. Now on to the old, reliable, some of the fan favorites. YMAG is down 20%. But the dividends do help make up for it. This one was also dripping. I turned it off because we were dripping when it was up in the, almost near 20. Now we're down to 15. So my dollar cost averaging on those was not great, but it was solid when we were down in the 13s and 14s. We have an AUM of 346 million. YMAG is officially smaller than ULTY. That blows my mind. Dividend yield of 48, almost 49%, which is solid because we have seen over a year of dividends from these, which I love. I love that we've had these for a year now. Last couple of distributions, we can see we had 26 cents, 29 cents, 21 cents, and 17 cents. So it is a little bit all over the place, but all in all, I think YMAG and YMAX have really performed well. And now that they've had over a year of trading under their belt, and with the weekly dividends, I think there is a really good chance that I'll be holding these long term. I do still own these. I sold a couple of my other weekly positions because I wanted to reinvest in ones that are doing well, like MSTY and ULTY for sure. Let's jump into YMAX. Down 21.95%, but it has continuously been one of the best performers in the account. We can see the chart. It's a little bit ugly. The AUM, 860 million. We're approaching $1 billion in market cap. That is insane. This might be the biggest. I think it is the largest AUM we have of any fund. Now, the dividend yield, 61.5%. Don't blame them because this thing is phenomenal. Oh man, there's a lot to talk about with YMAX. I am a big fan of it. It probably is my favorite right now, tied up there with ULTY when it comes to the YieldMax ETFs that pay weekly. Now we can see distribution-wise, it was a little bit lower, 18.5 cents, then 21.5 cents. We jumped back down to 17 cents and now up to 18 cents. And they seem to do some sort of restructuring because let me know what you think in the comments. This thing dropped and was paying like 10 to 12 cents per share, like over here, 10 cents, kind of continuously. And now we're back up into the high teens, low 20s. So I'm not sure what's going on with the management end, but if they can keep that high yield coming, and if we can keep the chart not even growing, but just continually trading in a way that the implied volatility is solid, we're getting good distributions and we're not losing out on our NAV, I would absolutely love it. So let's jump into our brand new tracking spreadsheet for the YieldMax weekly paying dividend ETFs. All right, I told you a sneak peek was coming. Here it is. Here's my weekly dividend ETF cheat sheet. Now you can see they're organized by ETF provider, inception date. I have the pay date on here so you can map out exactly when you're getting paid from each ETF and the number of dividends paid. Now I need some feedback. How does it look? Let me know. This is going to be free for you guys and I'm going to have to update it because we get more and more weekly payers all the time. Like I said earlier, I think there's 31 on here. But what I want to know is specifically the yield. I have the yield as the trailing 12 months. And what I want to know from you guys is this the best way of doing it? Because what this means is all of the ones that have not paid for a full year are going to be low, like ticker WEEK and MAGY. So these have both been paying for, a couple months maybe, but it looks like the yield is significantly lower than it actually is because of the trailing 12 months. Now, what I'll have to do if we think I should just get the overall yield that we've seen, the reason I don't want to do that is because it's higher risk. We've seen MAGY pay out 2 distributions or maybe 3. So if the yield is 90%, I don't want people to look at this and go, wow, I'm buying that one. It's a 90% yield. It needs to factor in the number of dividends or distributions, which I have over here. The number of dividends and distributions is going to be a big factor. I have an asterisk by the ones that shifted from monthly paying to weekly paying. So this is the full number that we've seen from each ETF. And if they have an asterisk, it means it did convert from a monthly payer to a weekly payer, and that this is including the monthly payers. Should I not include the monthly payments and just do the number of weekly dividends? Let me know. I need feedback. I love how it looks so far. I hope you guys do too. I genuinely just want some feedback from you guys, and I hope you guys use it because it's going to be amazing as we get to 40, 50 of these funds to have one place to go to where we can see all of them in one spot. So let me know in the comments. Let's get back into the video. Look at all those nice dividends. So what I did was I pulled all the data from the group tracking spreadsheet to this one individually. It's the same data. It just showcases it by ETF provider now, which I think is a lot easier and better for the sake of the videos. But again, leave me some feedback in the comments. We can see we had some great dividends. We had YMAG paying $1.28, which is very solid. YMAX $1.12. LFGY paid out 93 cents, which is good. It's higher than it had been last month, and I want it to continue on that trend. It doesn't need to grow the dividends, but just stay high. That's what I love to see. GPTY, 60 cents, growing and being competitive. Love to see it, as well as that price continuing to grow. SDTY, not too impressed by these ones, to be honest. All three of them, SDT, QDT, and RDT, all in the 40s. You know, RDTY was 94 cents when it first launched, and now it's come down quite a bit. SDTY was never paying that high, and QDTY a little bit higher, but nothing really to write home about. CHPY, this one is new. It's new to the account, but it's not as new. I think it launched the same time as the RDT, QDT, SDTY ETFs, but solid distributions. I mean, 80 cents, 77 cents, and 69 cents. Phenomenal. Then we have ULTY, which until this week had the highest record of dividend ever paid at $2.01 for all the weekly paying dividend ETFs with the $100 invested. Now it's still paying really solidly $1.66. So when I slide all the way over, we are going to see the exact amount paid out in total, and it was $7.60. We had $9 and $8 the last couple of weeks, so $7.60 is a little bit lower, but I'm not complaining. This is all income. So I'm pumped about this, and I'm still thinking, how am I going to drip this money back into the accounts? Because I'm really excited to see what these ETFs can do. So we're going to jump into the positions tab, and let's see exactly what's made the most money and what's lost the most money in this account. I did zoom in quite a bit, so I hope you guys that are on mobile or watching on a TV can see it a little bit clearer now. Because there's so much less in each account, it's a lot easier to zoom in. So I'm going to slide to the side, but first, all the number of shares and the average share cost are the same. Everything's an even number except YMAG, YMAX, and ULTY, which had drip on. I don't know why those three could drip, but they were. I started out with 16 shares of ULTY and 5 shares of YMAG and YMAX. So we are growing, which is phenomenal. ULTY growing the fastest. Sliding all the way, I want to note GPTY and CHPY are the highest in the account compared to their 52-week range, meaning they're higher price than they have been in the past, and I'm happy about that. I want to see those two continue. I want all of them to grow in price, of course. And we can actually see we are positive with all of them except for 2. Just 2 of these are in the red, and they're not even that bad. So YMAG positive by 10.74%, YMAX by 11.86%, LFGY is down 4%. We need this one to bounce back. It probably will in time as it pays out more and more in those huge distributions. GPTY positive by almost 5%. Love to see it. SDTY down 2.36%. Could be a lot worse, actually. We have RDTY positive by 9%. QDTY positive by 19.25%. It's the best performer in the account. It's also very new into the account, so it hasn't been trading for that long, but we just bought it at the right time, and this thing has been rocketing up. CHPY is up almost 10%, and ULTY in second place with 16.34%. You love to see it. So let's see the dividends from each of these. There's market value. So this is where you can see exactly how much was invested in each. Not invested in each, how much it's worth now. So I need to round out some of those because some of them have just fallen off, and that's caused a lot of hazard when it comes to the market value side. Total dividends received. We've had tons, YMAG and YMAX being the oldest. They have paid the most, $37 from YMAX, $35.50 from YMAG. And then the rest kind of dwindled down. LFGY has been insane, paying out $24.56 in just a couple of months. ULTY up there with it as well and holding its value better, $21.24. The rest of these are going to have to take a bit more time trading to really make some money. I am impressed with CHPY because we've only had a few dividends so far. Very, very impressive. So I really hope you guys like this new format of these weekly payers. Let me know in the comments again. And I have some more news for you guys. There's so much stuff happening with the channel, but I am going to tease. I've been working on another channel with another very popular, amazing ETF creator named Marcos Mia. And if you don't know him, check out his channel, YouTube, Marcos Mia. He is a super nice guy, and we are working on some crazy stuff. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy that as well. I'm not going to give too much away, but I will say there'll be more announcements just this week coming up. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you liked this video, check out these ones popping up on your screen right now. Primarily the one with the largest dividends I've ever received from $100 in a weekly paying dividend ETF. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video.